So let's go through the review now. It's very much a serious drama based on fact. It's a biopic, and it starts in New York City in 1970. Of course, it's about Harvey Milk, an openly gay activist who challenges the establishment. And he later ran for office in San Francisco. He moves to San Francisco to the Castro part of the city, which was famous for being where the gay community lived. And he had 3 unsuccessful attempts to be elected as supervisor in San Francisco. Finally became elected in 1978 and became the first openly gay man elevated to office in the United States. Now, Penn's portrayal of Milk enables him to win the Academy Award, as I said, and it is mind-boggling. Watching him, you would quickly appreciate his ability to melt into the role. He really does become Harvey Milk in both his accent, his mannerisms, and all the facets that you would consider to be part and parcel of a gay man. But additionally, his character has passion and strength and commitment, which comes alive on the screen. Early on, as I say, we see him as a long-haired hippie in the Castro area of San Francisco, and he quickly becomes quite vocal, popular. We see him on his soapboxes talking about gay rights, but we also have a brief glimpse at his personal relationships with his boyfriend Scott, an early role for James Franco, and latterly with his second boyfriend. There is a degree of physical affection which may well cause some uncomfortable feelings with some. However, it didn't really affect me, and that's quite significant because I have to say, as a young teenager, I had issues about homosexuality. Thankfully, I've grown up and become educated. The documentation really of the film, which is basically how it comes across by Van Zandt, is to be appreciated considerably. Although, as I said, the physical affection, he doesn't overdo this, but it's just a glimpse of the lifestyle of an openly gay man. The film prefers to focus on the politics, and prior to his successful election, we see, as I say, his ability to be a public speaker, delivering a ray of hope to the repressed minority of the gay and lesbian community. This is a movie review, and it's the 2008 movie Milk. And let's get started. Directed by Gus Van Sant, from a screenplay written by Dustin Lance Black, and the cast. In the lead role of Harvey Milk is Sean Penn. Supporting cast: Emil Hirsch plays Cleve Jones. Josh Brolin plays the supervisor Dan White. Diego Luna plays Jack Lira, a boyfriend of Harvey. James Franco also plays Scott Smith, also a boyfriend of Harvey. Alison Pill plays Anna Cronenberg, an activist, a lesbian activist. And Mayor Moscone is played by Victor Garber. Dennis O'Hare plays the conservative right-wing politician John Briggs. Okay, so that is your cast. Now let's have a quick look at the awards. And this was a very successful film at the Academy Awards. Sean Penn won for Best Actor in a Leading Role. It also won the Oscar for Best Writing and Original Screenplay by Dustin Black. It was nominated for Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor for Josh Brolin, Best Achievement in Directing, Gus Van Sant, Film Editing, Costume Design and Music all got nominations. Golden Globes nomination, just one for Penn as Best Leading Actor, and the BAFTAs nominations for Best Film, Original Screenplay, Lead Actor and Makeup. Okay, so that's dealt with the facts and figures. Now quickly as his popularity grew, the hate mail began. And early on, an anonymous threat was sent to him, which we note in the film, prior to him speaking at a gay rights rally. He ignores the threat and continues as if nothing had happened. Penn's acting very much mirrors the account of Milk, as we note from exploring the internet, particularly Wikipedia. The bigotry, the violence, the police intimidation, the whole 9 yards is out there in this movie, so that we are under no illusion about the challenge that the community had against basically an America that really didn't like these sort of people. The wave of anti-gay rights were mainly perpetrated by the religious right, and it was noted in the film the election of Anita Bryant for office. She, a religious fanatic who was committed to eroding gay rights in Florida and won, and she managed to return the law around so that effectively discrimination against work was clearly okay down there. She also managed to sell her bigotry to other states, but then when she headed for California to support right-wing legislator John Briggs to support Prop 6, which was again designed to erode gay rights, she came up against the opposition from Milk and others, and of course it was defeated. And just a note about her, she was a singer, and following her homophobia and then failure in California, she was exposed as a fraud and her career declined considerably. She was given the nickname of the Pie Girl because people would throw pies at her to show their disgust. The movie, as you're probably gathering from my review, became very much a documentary feel. But we did then shift on to the antagonism between Milk and fellow supervisor Don White. White was elected at the same time as Harvey Milk, and the film neatly exposed White's in underlying view of the gay community, although he previously sold himself on being very liberal. But this was quickly exposed when he tried to prevent a bill being passed to prevent discrimination in public accommodation in his area, and he lost the vote by 11-1. And this then leads to the conclusion to the movie. Plot spoilers, well, it's easily available on the internet, but what basically took place, that following the miserable defeat by White at the hands of the committee, he was the only one to vote to not allow or give the option for people not to refuse to take in gays. He then resigned in protest, was later convinced to try and get his job back, but the mayor had already moved on, and in his anger he then went to the office of the mayor and gunned down both the mayor and Milk in a rage, and they were both murdered. So that's very much a factual look at this movie. I have to say, because I'm a very political animal, I was quite hooked with it. And it really does help, I think, if you are sympathetic to the cause, interested in the cause, and like political thrillers. But it does sort of lack a little bit of passion, and for others it may be interpreted as quite a dry, uninteresting political movie. But having said that, it has to be said that Milk was a vital cog in the liberalisation within America of the gay community. He was posthumously awarded the Presidential Medal of Honor later, and he certainly, I was unaware of him until I saw this movie, but I think final word must go to Sean Penn. Sean Penn has constantly been politically active. He is, yes, to the left of centre, but he basically stands up for the little guy, and his characterisation of Milk is an exceptional performance. It really stands out in a movie where perhaps the supporting cast are very much in the back seat. I did like Brolin though. His character was particularly distasteful, which was of course how he was in public, and so that is another big plus for this movie. So there we have it. This is my review of Milk, released in 2008 and directed by Gus Van Sant.